That guy's crypto wallet just got hacked, his funds drained without him having done nothing wrong. He didn't click on any malicious links, he didn't share his private keys with anyone, he definitely didn't visit any dodgy websites, well, dodgier than normal. One day he just opened his wallet,
and like that, he's gone.
Yes, today we're taking a look at the mysterious and as of yet still not fully explained hack that's affected 9,232 Solana wallets and counting. The exploiters have so far pilfered somewhere between $4 and $5 million worth of the tokens, which, you know, in the grand scheme of crypto hacks is a little bit like a cricket in the elephant's enclosure. But what's arguably more important here is not the amount of value lost, but the highly unusual way in which it was lost. And the fact that this may only just be the beginning of an unfolding Avengers-level threat to the Solana blockchain. Welcome to crypto, welcome to CryptoSnap. The evening of the 2nd of August 2022 was hot and close and quiet. That was until reports began to emerge the users of the Solana wallet Phantom had tokens missing from their accounts. This was followed by reports from the users of the Solana wallet Slope, then Trust Wallet. Now, look, most of the time when someone says that their wallet has funds missing, what they're actually saying is, ah shit, I signed a contract I shouldn't have and now someone's transferred away all of my assets. Or they could be saying, I left my private keys on a post-it note at Comic-Con and now the Joker's stolen my soul, lol, not gonna make it. But rarely, if ever, are they saying, I've done nothing wrong at all, and still my funds have disappeared. Yet here, the exploited wallets were approving the malicious transactions directly, meaning that the private keys of the victims had been accessed without any apparent wrongdoing on the user's part. It's such a rarity for crypto. And of course, Twitter started going crazy about this. Tweets were coming in left and right and center from affected users, from the Solana Foundation, from the wallet's creators. There was madness in the air and no one knew what the hell was going on. Sounds like an entirely normal day at Twitter then. The big worry, of course, though, was that the Solana protocol itself had been compromised. If that happens, it's a BFD, a big forking deal. And you need look no further than June's $100 million hack on the Layer 1 blockchain Harmony as an example of this. Since then, that protocol has had a real hard time, like they are struggling trying to appease its increasingly militant user base, who have very publicly rebelled against the leadership team's proposal to try and restitute victims after the hack by just essentially printing more money. No lessons learned from Weimar Germany either, it seems.
Oh shit, here we go again.
However, with Solana, as no hardware wallets were affected, which could only have been drained by a protocol level exploit, the focus jumped deftly to online so-called hot wallets, and in fact, if you look, like the majority of the missing fund reports were coming from users who had either generated their private keys on a mobile device or had at some point imported them to their cell phone. Indeed, this is something Solana's co-founder was very quick to take to Twitter to point out himself. Of course, as patient zero, the wallet Phantom seemed like the most likely culprit as to how this exploit had happened. But that theory soon got laid to rest after the reports of affected users on Slope and Trust Wallet emerged. So step up one, step up all, and let's all start playing the grand game of our age, the blame game. And right now, it's looking like the Slope Wallet mobile app might have been the one to leave the metaphorical Infinity Stones out in the open for our villains to swipe. Let's get on with this post-mortem then. What happened with Slope? Well, we don't yet have all the answers, but according to their team's most recent update, there was a vulnerability in the Slope on-premise third-party application monitoring service on Slope wallets on mobile from July 28th to August 3rd that inadvertently logged sensitive data in cases where the app generated an error event. So I think that sentence should have had a period in it somewhere, but think of this like Google Analytics recording what your visitors are typing on your website without your permission. How this log data was then found and utilized by hackers remains to be seen. But the real kicker here, and one that doesn't really seem to be that widely reported on at the moment, is, according to Slope anyway, only 1,444 of the hacked addresses came from this glitch. Which means, as far as we can see here at TradingView Towers, no one yet has any collective idea how the remaining 7,788 wallets came to be compromised. None. For its part, Slope's team have apologized to users, saying, This is nowhere near the security standard that Slope set out to establish and maintain, and we are deeply regretful of these occurrences. Security is paramount to us, and our user base is everything. We should never have let this happen. A good question we can ask ourselves at this juncture then is, what can we personally learn from all of it? For starters, perhaps there's hope for humanity yet, as up to 10 white hat vigilantes, or probably more like grey hat vigilantes, actually try to slow down the hackers. The explain like I'm five version of their daring plan goes something like this. Any transaction going into or out of an account causes that account to temporarily be frozen so that no mistakes happen during the update, like the same tokens being sent out twice. The vigilantes thought that if they kept on spamming the hacker's account with these malformed transaction requests, they would keep getting frozen and slow their hack. And look, fair play to them, it actually seemed to work. Soulblaze reported that around 300 wallets were exploited during the hour that the spam bots ran, as opposed to around 2,000 beforehand per hour. Although this technique did get in the way of devs trying to analyze the ongoing attack, and it sort of broke a bit of Solana in the process, so swings and roundabouts. Perhaps more personally though, the Slope exploit is a great lesson as to why online hot wallets, especially mobile ones, aren't always safe as we naturally assume them to be. True, wallets like MetaMask and Phantom do have their advantages over storing funds on centralized exchanges. There's the saying, not your key, not your coins, for a reason after all. And if such businesses were ever to go bankrupt, the probability of you getting your crypto back would be, well, incredibly low. However, an even more secure way to store cryptocurrency than hot wallets are offline hardware wallets like Ledger or Trezor. By virtue of them not being connected to the internet, this kind of wallet is significantly more difficult. I may even go to say impossible, but I'm not going to go that far. Significantly more difficult for a hacker to gain access to. That being said though, they're nowhere near as convenient for everyday transactions, especially if you're on the move. That's why a lot of crypto folk opted for a two-pronged approach, having an online hot wallet for day-to-day transactions and an offline hardware wallet for their life-saving / war chest when they finally decide to buy their one-of-one NFT artwork to end all artworks for their degen mansion.
Perfect.
The fact that we haven't a clue how a significant majority of the affected wallets came to be compromised is really concerning. And we'll have to wait until audit teams and the US law enforcement, who have also been looped in, have all finished playing Web3 Tony Stark, out to seek the perpetrators for justice and revenge and whatever. And we probably could learn some more if the hacker strikes again, this time in some sort of Thanos arrives doomsday scenario affecting more of the Solana network. Although that seems kind of unlikely at this point, given the amount of scrutiny the entire ecosystem must be going through right now. And for its part, Slope has confirmed that they found no additional vulnerabilities during the investigation and, quote, intense scrutiny by multiple parties. Therefore, they believe the latest patched version of the Slope wallet is safe to use. Their development team have also promised to provide users with details on the further asset recovery measures for compromised wallets in the near future. I don't know, what do you think about all this? Leave us a comment below, and if you're liking these crypto snacks, do like the video and give us a subscribe to the channel. All your feedback, support and criticism helps us make better shows in the future. Until next time though, whatever wallet you're using, whatever crypto you're trading, whatever Marvel character you want to emulate in your public or private life, always remember to look first, then leap.